Hello friends, today we are going to study something new that is a part of the chapter polynomials. This is the third video in this series. I urge you to go back and refer the entire playlist of previous videos, then this video will be making more sense to you. Today we are going to study a very special case of a polynomial which is called a quadratic polynomial. And in the case of a quadratic polynomial, we are going to study the relation between the roots and the coefficients. Remember, we are going to study the relation between the zeros or roots and the coefficients. In case you do not know what are the zeros of a polynomial or what are the zeros of a quadratic equation, do refer to the previous videos in the playlist and it will become a lot more clearer. So let's get started here. So f of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. Now remember, what is this? This is the general form of a quadratic equation. This is the general form of a quadratic equation. And what I see here is that this is a quadratic equation in degree 2, so it will have two roots. Let me call those two roots as alpha and beta, and alpha and beta are going to help me form this equation, that is the quadratic equation. Now remember, always in a quadratic equation, the sum of roots that is equal to alpha plus beta is always equal to minus of b by a, that is coefficient of x divided by the coefficient of x squared with a minus sign. Okay, the sum of the roots and the product of the roots, is equal to alpha multiplied by beta. This is always equal to c by a, that is equal to the constant term divided by the coefficient of x squared. Okay, let us take an example and understand this slightly better till the time that becomes more clear. You can revise this again. Sum of roots is minus of b by a, product of roots is c by a. Now let's see here in an example. So I have x squared plus 7x plus 12. Okay, if I equate this with 0 and I solve for this, I get x squared plus 4x plus 3x plus 12 is equal to 0, and I get x plus 4 into x plus 3 equal to 0. This implies that x is equal to minus of 4 or x equal to minus of 3. So that gives me alpha is equal to minus of 4, beta is equal to minus of 3. Now the sum of roots is equal to alpha plus beta, which is equal to minus of 4 minus of 3, that is equal to minus of 7. So from the sum of roots using alpha beta, what have I obtained? Minus of 7. And the sum of roots using coefficients, now remember, the coefficient of x divided by the coefficient of x squared with a minus sign. So I get minus of 7 upon 1. So this I get using roots, and this I get using coefficients, and you can see that both of them are same, minus 7, minus 7. Let's take another example, which is 4u squared plus 8u Now remember, you have to first put this equation in a standard form. So f of x is equal, this will be f of u is equal to 4u squared plus 8u plus 0. This means a is equal to 4, b is equal to 8, and c is equal to 0. Now this time I'll use coefficient method first. Okay, so coefficient method first. Okay, in this case, what do I get? Sum of roots is equal to alpha plus beta is equal to the coefficient of u divided by the coefficient of u square with a minus sign. So it will be minus of 8 by 4, which is equal to minus of 2. And the product of roots is equal to alpha beta, which is equal to the constant term divided by the coefficient of x squared. The constant term is 0 divided by anything, that is 4, is equal to 0. So I got the sum of roots as minus 2 and the product of roots is 0. Now let's verify this by actually solving the equation. That is, now we did the coefficient method first. Now let's do the roots method. So it says 4u f of u is equal to 4u squared plus 8u is equal to 0. This will mean if I take 4u common, I get u plus 2 is equal to 0. And this means either u is equal to 0 or u is equal to minus 2. And this becomes my alpha equal to 0 and my beta equal to minus 2. Now you see, sum of roots equal to alpha plus beta is equal to 0 plus minus of 2, that is minus 2, and the product of roots, is equal to alpha beta, which is equal to 0 into minus 2, that is equal to 0. And this is exactly what I've received here from the coefficient method. Okay, that sum of roots is minus 2, product of roots is 0, and here also sum of roots is minus 2 and product of roots is 0. So I'll just revise and summarize what we have learned here is the relation between the sum and the product of roots with the coefficients. So remember, sum of roots is equal to minus of b by a, and product of roots is equal to c by a. And what is b by a and c by a? You can refer this part. So this is the agenda of this video to help you understand. And always remember, this formula is true for a quadratic equation. Okay, this is true for a quadratic equation. So for a quadratic equation or a quadratic polynomial. Okay, I hope you like this video. Do like, share, comment and subscribe if you found this useful. I urge you to subscribe because I upload new videos every night at 8 p.m. In case you want me to solve something for you from the syllabus of class 9 to 12 mathematics, do put down your questions in the comments under the description, or message it to me over WhatsApp at the number mentioned in the description. Till then, keep working hard. Cheers and God bless.